We love you, Chicago.
Yeah.
Welcome to my sexy liberal fatigue. Happy Monday, everybody.
That was a whirlwind weekend.
That was a lot of fun.
That was
awesome.
Fun,
but well.
Did you? Now that I'm a social media whore, did you read the face page and the Twitter? The reviews are in.
They seem to like it.
They seem to like it. They like us. They
really
like us. Oh, and you posted the picture of us in the Chicago wind.
Yeah.
In front of our WCPT van, and oh god.
Janice was talking about that. You looked cold.
It was a little cold.
And that wind, well, because where'd we stay? Whacker.
We did.
Whacker.
Upper Whacker.
Upper Whacker.
Jim has a new joke.
Oh, a joke?
Whacker.
Whacker.
You Whacker.
You Whacker. I'm still on parole.
All right, it's a new one from Whacker. I just met her.
Yes.
But oh god.
That was so 24 hours ago.
Oh my god. Yeah. All right. Listen. Speaking of 24 hours ago, has there been a new racist explosions?
A little bit.
Really?
Okay. Are they all trying to? Is this a competition? What's happening?
I guess so.
I don't know who's working for who, but maybe
They're
what's
trying
his
to
name?
out-clan each other.
Yeah. Exactly. Who has outclanned each other this morning? Donald Sterling, I think, maybe working for Cliven Bundy.
Sterling Cooper?
Yeah. Oh, here's the Palin story, and then Sarah Palin said something. Oh my God! By the way, we say stuff on stage as sexy liberal, and then it happens because God is a sexy liberal. Remember, I said that I was reading the latest Cliven Bundy quote, and I said that is the dumbest, most racist thing I've heard anyone say. And still, the last time Sarah Palin said something, and then what happened? Sarah Palin said.
Wow.
This time not racist, but just even dumber.
It's like Old Faithful.
Just even, exactly. I was like, oh, it's another geyser of stupid. Just in time for sexy liberal. Wow. Anyway, go to Sexy Liberal on Facebook and .com. Lots of great pictures up from the show. Thank you, everybody. We had such a great time. Oh, my God.
Oh, my God.
I remember us imbibing in my room till...
Yeah, I had a party till
I had a beer
2 in the morning.
I had a beer. That's it.
Well, Mama had a little more. And I'm just saying, we were up until the time we normally get up for this show. So
yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. So where do we even start? In the buffet that the news cycle has brought us today. So let's see. Here's the latest this morning. The recording, said to be of Los Angeles Clippers owner Donald Sterling, made making racist comments to his girlfriend, is genuine. The woman's lawyer said Sunday, although he insisted his client was not the one who leaked the tape to the media.
Oh, well.
Yeah.
In that case.
Right.
What? Huh?
Wow. So he, just for those of you reviewing, which racist, we should guess the quote all morning.
Oh,
which racist said what? Which racist said what now?
What?
So this racist, the one that owns the LA Clippers here in LA, right, was caught on tape telling his girlfriend not to bring the blacks to the NBA games.
And by the blacks, he meant Magic Johnson.
I
Right.
told Jim, this bro called Jim and I were on the plane. He goes, he might want to get into another line of work now.
Yeah. That's what Magic Johnson
That
said
doesn't
yesterday.
seem like a good career move.
And Carlos is incensed. He's a big Clippers fan. So that's, oh, great.
Oh, he's the one.
I was saying, it's not like a hockey team owner going, I hate Canadians. Those
Poutine slinging.
Chesterfield smoking.
No, sitting. It's a couch.
Right. Oh, I thought you
don't sit on a cigarette.
Right.
No, they call it couch at Chesterfield.
I didn't know which Chesterfield.
I've been doing that joke for years.
For 10 years now.
You thought I was talking about sitting on a cigarette?
I don't listen to you. You don't listen to me either, do you?
What?
See?
You say something?
You can
I spilled some
confirm.
poutine on the Chesterfield, eh?
You can confirm that I did you the service of barely speaking on the flight. So at least it was that, right?
Yes.
There was enough sexy little fatigue that
Oh, God.
I was comatose.
My blood sugar was so low yesterday. I was dragging my suitcases into the parking garage because I had like a little power bar for breakfast, and then we had that little mini quiche on the plane.
Have a gluten-free brownie.
Ooh,
thank
gluten-free
you.
brownies.
Why, thank you.
Gluten-free brownies.
From my friends at Cookie Bar in Chicago.
Cool.
Hello.
But I was so exhausted I couldn't find my car. I knew it was on the 3rd floor somewhere, so I was dragging my suitcases around, trying to hit the, alarm buttons, so that I never heard it. But fortunately, I know, and I called Janice to say what was going on. I said, well, just look at your ticket, and then they can... And I left it in the car. So, but fortunately, they have a guy on the Segway riding around there. We'll call him Paul Blart.
And by the way, if it weren't for Jim's wife... Oh, Janice is her name, you say.
Oh, I never knew that.
But...
I thought you sat on her. Or smoked her.
She was smart enough to put red tape on his
Yes.
bag so you could...
Oh, there it is. Right. Yeah.
She knows him well.
But but anyway, you give the description of the car and the license plate. It took him about 30 seconds to find it.
They're like, oh, there it is.
Because that's all he does is ride around with the Segway and find lost cars.
Other people that are dazed from a long trip.
There is a place near LAX, I'll tell you where it is, where it costs like $1 more a day to valet it, and they have it ready for you when you come back. It's awesome.
That's cool.
You should look into that. Yes, look into that.
Back to the news cycle.
Sorry.
All right, so let's review. Which race is it? What now? Balzac says who?
Right.
Of course, they're probably not up at 4 in the morning, which is when I was driving to the airport.
All right, back to the news cycle. Right. Back to the news cycle. Here we go. Yeah. So anyway, I can't even. We'll go through all of it because it's just too much to even sort of digest.
Yeah.
All at once. It's yeah. Okay. So his last comments, Cliven Bundy, because he went on CNN to further expound and expand about his comments about the
making it better
Negro
minute by minute.
Yeah, as I said at Jim, it's like someone that like steps in tar or something, and then stuff keeps sticking to him. Stop walking! Don't
take your shoes off.
Don't.
Here's a helicopter. Grab onto the rails.
I did a whole Chariots of Fire bit on Saturday night about how fast the right wing is running away from him, and he just keeps talking. He just. It's Dana Loesch's worst nightmare. Stop
your pie hole.
Sean Hannity, you can almost. No! Stop talking! Right? We're not in Dana Loesch's the last one. She's the straggler. She's like in the horror film, right? She falls. And then it's like has to run while she's like laying down. Just, oh, he's just a poor rancher with no media training. Oh, no, black boy. No! Because, as you know, Martin Luther, he had a dream, and then Martin Luther King killed it.
Yeah.
Right.
It's Martin Luther King's fault for not finishing the job, according to Cliven. Okay. And then, so Donald Sterling, obviously, he just totally eclipsed the... By the way, I saw, first of all, can I just say, because Cliven Bundy is now the carrot top of the white supremacist movement, he has all kinds of props on CNN. You saw he had his boot. He took his boot off. He was like out of frame when they came to him. Then he had his boot. He's like, I took my boot off, so I know if I stick my foot in my mouth, I don't got my boot on. I was like, oh my God.
Oh my God.
Oh my God. He's replaced the toy plane as CNN's favorite prop. It's hilarious. And then he was holding a dead calf. Did you see that?
No.
He was holding.
What? Why?
Dana Loesch is right about something. He might need a little media training.
Really?
Yeah.
CNN might need to stop calling. Okay, go back to the plane.
Lesson number 1, stop being an a-hole.
Oh my God.
Lesson 2, that's pretty much all. That's the whole. That's all.
Dear God. And then, and ladies and gentlemen, our newest racist media star, Donald Sterling. Okay, allegedly? Do we still have to say allegedly?
Yeah, because it hasn't been authenticated that it is his voice on the tape.
Please.
Whatever.
I know.
Here he is.
Yeah, it bothers me a lot that you want to broadcast that you're associating with black people. You have to.
Huh?
Do you have to?
Do you have to?
Do you?
You have to associate with black people?
Wow.
Yeah, and
how about Italians?
Once you start down this whole racist road, it gets confusing because the girlfriend, you saw, is half black, half Mexican.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so then there's a discussion at one point later about she thought a couple of guys were okay. I can't remember which ones they are because she said, well, they're light, like
They're
me.
lighter skinned, yeah.
I thought that would be okay. I'm like, oh my God, what?
Wait.
What? Huh? Once you start down this, it's like what's his name? The guy that shot up the Jewish center that we found on Friday got picked up with a black male prostitute dressed like a woman in the 80s. Once you are sexist and homophobic, you're just confused. We may be rapturing in a ball of racist, homophobic, sexist confusion. I'm not really certain. But I think I would like to be left behind. I think it's time for those people to go now.
To rapture them. Yeah.
Right. Let's see. Okay, so here is the girlfriend and the okay.
What's wrong with minorities? What's wrong with black people?
Nothing. You could sleep with them, you could bring them in, you could do whatever you want. The little I ask you is not to promote it on that and not to bring them to my games.
Oh my God.
So he wants to prevent all black people from going
to
Clippers games. Okay, then.
Okay. As you can imagine, there's been some reaction.
Oh, just a little bit.
You think?
Little bit.
You insult him a little bit.
Tiny. And so far, he's taken off the heat from Sarah Palin for almost the whole segment for the... That is the biggest... and this is saying a lot. That may be the biggest ball of dumb that I've never heard come out of her mouth. But anyway, we'll get to that.
Wow.
Yeah, we'll get to
It was
that.
like 20 minutes of...
Where'd it go? Which way to go?
Really stunning. It is stunning. I am just saying, God, a sexy liberal. Sorry, don't mean to offend anybody.
Wow.
But in honor of, the guy that started this news cycle, so we have from Rocky Mountain Mike and Mary in Ann Arbor, because it's Monday.
Oh, and Susan.
Wow. See, every time we hear a new Rocky Mountain Mike thing, I say, I should have thought of that.
Right. Oh, no, trust me, everyone thinks they can be Rocky Mountain Mike.
He's very good.
Sorry, I printed something. It's important.
The
It's a
printer
Sarah
has an
Palin
opinion.
thing.
We're about ready to go to break. You couldn't.
That's fine. It's just shush. I run this rickety little operation.
I know.
All right. I'm going to go turn on the garbage disposal before I do that next thing. Okay. 18 minutes after the hour. This hour of the Stephanie Miller Show brought to you by No Hair. The people in Chicago can tell you how thankful they are that I traveled with my No Hair.
Yeah, thank God.
Whenever I see celebrities with that perfect hair-free skin, don't you think, I want to know how they did it? Well, I know how they did it. No Pro. Celebrities and models have been tossing those razors and expensive salon treatments and switching to No Pro for weeks of long-lasting results. I decided to give it a try. It is incredible. No more nicks, rashes, cuts, no more. You have to drive to salon treatments. You got to pay for that. You got to pay for parking. You got to pay for gas. Forget about it.
And then you'll lose your car in the parking garage.
Right, exactly. Don't risk it. Whether it's your legs, arms, bikini line, face. Next time you're doing your chest or back, Jim, make sure you use No Pro. You'll love how easy this is to use.
That's not an issue for me.
And the professional results you get from home. Ditch the razors and salon. Don't hate Jim because he's beautiful and hairless. Ditch the razor salon treatment. Switch to No Pro. I promise you're going to be thrilled. Check it out. No Pro comes with a 100% 60-day money-back guarantee. Plus, when you purchase, No is giving you a $50 gift card to a dermatologist-recommended and award-winning skincare line, plus a free travel case. That's key for me on my way to Sexy Liberal. You have to go to nono.com to get these free gifts. That's nonostephanie.com. Nonostephanie.com. 19 minutes after the hour. So much to get to on the Stephanie Miller Show. It is the Stephanie Miller Show. You're right, Jim. So little time, so much dumb. What's the headline you were just reading?
I'm off that screen now.
Confused constituents didn't get Obamacare because they
thought they were involved putting a microchip in them.
Right.
Because that's what the right wing told them.
Right. They heard that on the Fox News. They just grab you by the scruff of the neck like a kitten.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was on Fox News. It must be true.
Right.
And they probably watched, Logan's Run on a, continuous loop.
Right. Oh, let's do one more. We pause from our Donald Sterling and Cliven Bundy related news for this little dollop of dumb from Sarah Palin at the Stand and Fight NRA event. You'll betcha my speech.
I do have to apologize for that. I am sorry. Not all intolerant, anti-freedom, leftist liberals are hypocrites. I'm kidding. Yes, they are. And they are not right. Policies that poke our allies in the eye and criminal adversaries instead of putting the fear of God in our enemies. Come on, enemies who would utterly annihilate America. They who'd obviously have information on plot, say to carry out jihad. Oh, but you can't offend them, can't make them feel uncomfortable, not even a smidgen.
Oh my God.
Well, if I were in charge,
Here we go.
They would know that waterboarding is how we baptize terrorists.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Oh,
Wow.
God.
First of all, she sounds like a 14-year-old.
I feel like covering my dad's ears. I'm going to go Watermiller poster behind me, who was actually a presidential candidate, vice presidential candidate.
Actually, I would love to hear what Barry Goldwater would say about
was
that.
a Nuremberg prosecutor.
That woman is an idiot.
That woman was a candidate for vice president. First of all,
Waterboarding is baptizing them.
what does that even mean? We would waterboard infants just on the off chance that they might grow to be a terrorist? Because then they won't for sure. What? I don't... What does that even mean? Okay, wait, there's more, Jim. Hang on. She called gun-free school zones stupid on steroids.
Ah, good.
Sarah Palin said that about someone else. Maybe our kids could be defended against criminals on the spot if more mama grizzlies carried. And the Obama administration wants to do ID'd for that. Well, then go ahead and carry a sign, too. A sign that says, yeah, I carry a gun because a cop is too heavy.
What? Yeah,
Wow,
and the cops
wow,
would
wow.
say having everybody armed is the last thing you want in a situation like that, because you can't tell the good guys from the bad
Right.
guys.
Yeah.
And you're going to kill a lot more people.
Most law enforcement organizations in Georgia were really hardcore against that
Yes.
new carry in all places law.
By the way, to that guy that emails me every time I play Sarah Palin sound bites, yes, I am sorry that your balls just hit the back of your throat. I apologize. There's a lot of dumb spoken in an incredibly irritating.
Really not good. Also, too, you
All
betcha.
right, unless you're sandblasting something with your radio, we apologize. Okay, Tom in Illinois, you're on the Stephanie Miller Show. Hi, Tom.
Good morning, Mama. Good morning, Mook.
Good morning, baby.
I just wanted to say first, thank you very much. I called last week and asked you to give a shout out to my wife and her friend, Jody and Krista, who were going to see you. And they had a fabulous time. They absolutely loved the show.
Thank you.
Only now I have a problem.
Uh-oh.
Because my wife texted me during the show that she now has, and I quote, a mad hot crush on John Fugelsang.
Oh, dear. Well, it's one of the hazards of sexy liberal, so we apologize. But you're in good company.
I know. He is sexy liberal, and I'm just like, now what am I supposed to do?
Well, you know what?
If you listen to his monologue, you know exactly what you're supposed to do.
Yes, he knows what you're talking
That's
about.
funny. She never told me everything about his monologue. She just said it was fantastic.
Well, it's a new, we like to call it the Cunnilingus superset. Hope you enjoy that.
There you go.
Yeah, all right. Just it's a tutorial for you. It's a public. We're helpers, liberals. So. By the way, of all the comedy gifts today, Louis Black coming up in about a half an hour.
That's right.
And right after the break, Rude Pundit.
Whoa.
Right?
Hour one's going to explode.
Yeah. Go ahead, put that in your pen and vape it.
Yeah, exactly.
Huh?
If you're a douche.
Right back on the Stephanie Miller Show. It is the Stephanie Miller Show. Welcome to it, 34 minutes after the hour. Oh, dear. God is and remains a sexy liberal this morning. Representative Michael Grimm, Republican of New York, arrested this morning. He's that guy that threatened to break the reporter in half like a little boy and throw him over the railing. That guy got arrested this morning. And
what do you mean exactly by breaking him in half like a little boy?
Yeah. One wonders.
Sounds like he has some experience in that.
Okay. And polls show rising acceptance for Obamacare. Oh, dear. Clive and Bundy keeps talking, and so does Donald Sterling. Okie dokie.
Yeah.
Who better to talk to all about
It's Lee Bobbitt, the Rude Pundit.
Good morning, rudeness.
Good morning. I'm seated in Michael Grimm's district right now.
I know.
Wow.
That's why I waited for you to bring this up. I mean, it's just hilarious. It's like every racist, homophobic, sexist bully is getting their karma all at once. What's happening?
Who knows? You know what it is I don't think they've quite gotten the technology curve down that everything they say or do can be recorded. So maybe you just need to keep the inside voice inside your head.
Who said that? It was a bad week for racists and recording devices. Not a good mix this week. I mean, it seems like obviously the big thing, not just here in L.A., but around the country is this Donald Sterling stuff. And, of course, we have to go, well, allegedly. And it's like, oh, come on. It's him on tape.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think Magic Johnson would be out as strong as he has been if he didn't know for sure. If he's hung out with the guy, Magic's hearing that and hearing, oh yeah, that's him.
Well, he has this whole history. I mean, I forgot. It was the largest, I think, housing discrimination racial lawsuit ever in the United States. I think, right? That he had to pay.
There's great quotes from that, unlike Clive and Bundy, Sterling does have a problem with the Mexicans.
Yes.
Because
I was saying Saturday, I think it is like Clive and Bundy had a three-way with the guy from Duck Dynasty and Ann Coulter, and this is like the horrible mutant racist creature that was spawned. Donald, you're going. How can you out Clive and Bundy and the last Duck Dynasty guy? You're like, oh well, that'd be get all the stuff this guy said, right?
Yeah, well, because this guy is saying his private things are now being put out there, like him saying, there's the blacks in this building, they smell, they're not clean. This is previous racism.
Right.
Mexicans sit around all day, smoke and drink, and just hang around the house.
You know, the even creepier level of this, Rude, I don't know if it struck you too. It's not just obviously the horrible, like, blatant racist stuff he said, but because of course the first thing comes to mind, you're like, why would you want to own an NBA team? You go, that's why you'd want to own an NBA team, don't you think? There's something creepy. There was one thing he said to his girlfriend about it. Well, what do you mean? I clothe them and, could pay their, put food in their mouths and give them cars. Like, you don't give them anything. They work for you just like, they could work for anybody. It's their talent that gets them that. But there was something creepy and ownership about that.
To take it even further, here's something from 2009. He said, according to a former general manager, he envisioned a southern plantation type structure for the Clippers, in which, as he said, poor black boys from the South played for a white head coach.
Oh, God.
So he wasn't just implying it by his ownership of the Clippers. He really saw himself as owning the Clippers.
Wow.
Yeah. Oh, my God. This whole thing is so skeevy. We were talking about, so the only thing out of the Sterling camp so far is they're going, oh, this is a woman that what do you call it, Sterling family has a lawsuit against that's trying to get even. Well, of course, it turns out the lawsuit, it seems like that was his girlfriend, and his wife is suing the girlfriend to get the stuff back that he gave the girlfriend, cars and,
I'm
like, oh.
Donald Trump has come out in support of Sterling.
Oh, has he?
Yeah, saying it was a vindictive girlfriend just trying to get back
my
at him.
God.
Oh, bitch set him up. It's the bitch set him up defense.
Of
right.
course.
Right.
Wow.
Well,
but at least his penis isn't racist, so we do know that.
There's that.
He has that over John Mayer.
Yeah,
okay.
Exactly.
Wow. So, Cliven, who's started this, as I say, this whole news cycle, God bless him, I pointed out the same thing you did, that when you start a sentence with, I want to tell you one more thing I know about the Negro, a sentence that can never be followed by anything good. That's
I mean, you're not going to follow that with, I sure appreciate all of their achievements in the area of science,
I can, in the pause right after the word Negro, I think I felt a nation of people going, oh, no.
Yeah. Can you imagine the giddy Adam Nagurney from the New York Times sitting there just on the edge of his seat, or just leaning in and thinking, oh, this would probably be good for the article.
Okay, and what else now? Right. You said if the Rude Pundit had written a caricature of a conservative not saying those words, he'd have deleted them for being too absurd for anyone with breath and a brain to speak aloud to the press. That's the thing. You're going, oh, no, this wasn't just the behind closed doors caught on tape. No, he said this to the New York Times and then later on CNN over and over again, right?
Yeah. And that he simply tried to explain himself like, well, no, I was just sort of pondering the idea, in some existential way of how perhaps slavery is more freedom than freedom. That's great. So he's a philosopher.
Yeah, and you also put this in the context that I think is really important, that, just in this news cycle with Cliven Bundy and Donald Sterling, in the shadow of this SCOTUS decision, you say it's the usual milquetoast bowl. The racists will say, in order to justify their racism about as being anything but racism, Justice Scalia wrote his usual-ish concurrence. Joined by his loyal manservant, Clarence Thomas, they wrote that in essence, hey, if the people of a state want to say racial discrimination is a thing of the past, who are we to stop them? It was left to Justice Sotomayor to bitch slap the court and the nation. I mean, isn't this all of this just proving her point entirely? I mean, it's just like almost on cue.
Right.
When John Roberts says racism is over with this news cycle, right?
Exactly. And here we look at NBA players, to go back to Sterling. We look at them and go, oh, they're so highly paid and all of that. And here is the guy who pays them saying, you know what, I see them as essentially slaves on my plantation. And to not say at that point that there's discrimination that maybe the law should be able to do something about, is absurd.
Yeah. You said Cliven Bundy said what many that rush to his cause are thinking, and the Supreme Court this week justified their beliefs in as stark a way as possible. I mean, yeah, I mean, that is really true. What timing, right?
Right. And then I saw the young woman who originally started the Michigan case, this young blonde woman white woman on CNN. Was she on CNN or Fox? No, she was on Fox. That's right. Yesterday I made the terrible mistake of turning on Fox on Sunday in the morning.
I am sorry.
And she's just sitting there, talking about how ridiculous it is that there's still affirmative action. And I thought, really? We need to make the world safe for blonde, white, young women? I mean,
yes.
Make it easier for them.
Listen,
there's other issues, I think, that related to women you could be working on other than your, admittance to the University of Michigan.
Yeah. So it's hard to keep, there's so much, horrible mutant racism, as I'm saying in the news, that it's hard to focus on a little bit of sexism that is already starting regarding Hillary in 2016. But there it is, as you headlined. Mitt Romney became a grandfather 8 times while running for president, and no one gave a damn. I mean, this is, you don't know if you're writing parody. This conspiracy theory is already popping up around Chelsea Clinton being pregnant, right?
Oh yeah, and that there must have been. This is timed to make her look better because she'll look more grandmotherly. I don't know. Maybe they'll force Clinton. Maybe they'll say Chelsea is going to have 4 babies to make up for the deaths at Benghazi.
Right.
They'll give her a forced ultrasound or something.
Right. That's right. Yeah. So, and I also loved the questions to Chelsea about, or not the questions about. Well, we thought Chelsea was pro-choice. We thought she was pro-abortion. Why is she having a baby?
Oh,
that's actually a thing that's out there.
Right. They can't quite get their mind around why choice means you can choose to have a child or not.
Right.
Right.
Well, shouldn't she be an object lesson in having an abortion? Well, she should be broadcasting her abortion for everybody to see, so she can prove how pro-choice she is.
Between what do you call it?
Getting dumber and dumber.
Exactly. I was just going to say between Bundy and Sterling and Sarah Palin, as you say, well, we live in stupid times where the press seems to take an active role in making us stupider. So no doubt we'll get the Chelsea truthers, people who believe the Clintons conspired to make sure Chelsea was pregnant in order to make Hillary more sympathetic during an election cycle. When it comes to the Clintons, there is no depth to the right-wing media will not sink.
You're right. Goldwater would not have anything to do with this party. Jesus, these people are dumb.
I think like in Man with 2 Brains, like that picture of Goldwater Miller's going to start spinning, and we're going to
No!
What have you done to my party? No!
What happened to issues?
Yeah, exactly. And you just you closed it really well. You said if she decides not to run for president this time, it'll have more to do with being exhausted by the very bull that she's had to put up with for most of her adult life from debauched media whores looking for the next fake scandal to try to wreck her, and it would be hard to blame her. I mean, it really. This is what awaits us, right?
Right. And this is what we're going to get for the next. We have like nearly 2 years of it to look forward to.
Awesome.
If she decides to run, and I mean everything will be brought out. It'll be how somehow Benghazi she personally went there and executed the ambassador herself.
Right.
By the time we're done.
As Jim said, it'll be about Monica and Benghazi. It will be Blowghazi.
Blowghazi.
Right.
Blowghazi. I like that.
Right. They will just run on that.
I love that. Let's make sure that we never let people forget that her husband got a BJ in the Oval Office. That's the most important thing that discredits her.
Right, and her child spawned in a horrible conspiratorial plot to sympathize Hillary. All right.
I've seen The Omen.
It's all for you, Hillary. All right, love you, Reardon. See you next week, honey.
Bye.
All right, 45 minutes after the hour. I love when I can say Louis Black next.
Oh, yeah.
On the Stephanie Miller Show. I get it. Back in black.
Yep. And best wishes to Malcolm Young, who's had to quit because of health concerns.
I just started, tweeting for myself. I'm going to tweet a different picture of me with a black person every day to Donald Sterling. And I believe even one of me and Louis Black. Maybe just every day. I'll send a picture.
He's a black person.
I love associating with blacks, particularly Louis Black. Good morning, Louis Black.
Good morning.
What can we say as comedians about the gifts that keep on giving these last couple of weeks?
Part of me just gets to the point where I can't. My brain just goes, stop it. It's part of it is I feel like I'm dealing with cartoon characters.
No, that's what I keep saying. You literally don't know what's like an Onion headline, or you're like, no, really? Really?
And then you kind of go, really? How long does it take these guys? If they knew, and it takes them
Yeah. I mean,
everybody knew.
Yeah, it seems everybody knew
about Donald Sterling.
Yeah.
I mean, but we were saying it's, you know, I mean, clearly the tape is real. I guess we have to say alleged because, as you know, we're a well-known news organization, Louis Black.
Right,
but
yes, I mean, you do say alleged, but you know, when you've got a guy like all of a sudden, when you got a guy who's basically done this, you know, it's like we increase. It's like what's his name when Bundy shows up with a dead calf on TV. Chances are 70-30, he's crazy.
Right. Well, I was saying he's like the white supremacist Carrot Top because do you see that he did a little skit with his boot the other day and then
yes.
Right. And what's funnier than a dead calf? Anyway. Yeah. I mean, Louis, and then of course Sarah Palin said something, so it's hard to. Have we all just gotten stupider and more racist, or what?
Stupider. I just think that the television. The news organizations have to stop focusing on stupidity.
Well,
it's like a story. You know, he's not a story. Bundy's not a story. One man and the rest of them can pay the bill. So you're not a story. You're a criminal.
Yes, thank you. And but you're absolutely right about the media part of it because you go, like I said, he's replaced the toy plane as like their CNN's favorite prop. It's like, okay, stop talking to him now that you know who he is.
You know, part of it I think is too bring back. You know, if this is what America wants, which is fine, bring back the soaps.
Yeah.
They're the kind of replacement for it. You know, it's the 7-minute comic strip that, you know, replaces the soap, and I can't wait to see what he does, you know, the next day.
Yeah, no, exactly. Well, I mean, where do you think this Donald Sterling thing is going to go? Because obviously this is the one that is blown up even bigger than the Louis Black one. You've had the president chiming in, obviously. I mean,
Louis Black one? You said Louis Black.
Pardon me.
I think, you know, if it's a legit tape, he's done. He's toast.
Yeah. Well, that's what people are I mean, again, I guess it depends on, you know, what the rules are at the NBA. I mean, the people are obviously calling for him to either step down. They can't. I don't know how it works. Do you with the owners? I think they can suspend him, but I don't know if they can force him out.
It's still unclear.
Either that or he did what he did for the last, you know, what they allowed, which is, you know, oh boy, he's going to pay this money to have a team. I don't care what he calls black people.
Right. Well, I was reading the headline today that Magic Johnson said he'd be open to buying the Clippers, depending on what happens.
Wow, Magic Johnson has got some dough, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Yes, he does.
Yeah,
wow.
A little bit.
I'd be open to buying the Clippers, but I can't.
I would be open to it too. Yeah.
Toenail clippers. I could afford that.
Louis, you have a fabulous new special coming up on Epix called Old Yeller, which I love. May 2nd.
Yes.
What sort of things can we look forward to in Old Yeller?
Well, basically, I shot it for pay-per-view, which was another great experiment gone bad, and so I shot it about 8 months ago. But what's extraordinary about it, you know, I just want to try to get it on immediately, but I can't put it out on the internet because about half of the people that view me are not going to watch it.
Right.
So the stuff that I talked about 8 months ago still works, you know. Right. It's all about the things we're not doing.
But see, isn't this? But when they call these people outliers, they're really not. Isn't that the bigger story? Like whether it's 8 months ago and it's the Duck Dynasty guy or it's this news cycle. I mean, it just they can't pretend that this is some sort of outlier of the Republican Party right now. It's not.
It's not. And what's really amazing is to have the Supreme Court. Every time the Supreme Court comes down with a ruling, within 2 days, you know, stuff happens that's completely antithetical to what these idiots have said. It doesn't exist anymore.
Right.
Well, there's no racism. We're over that.
Yeah. Yeah, I bet Sonia Sotomayor, I bet, is home watching CNN going, yeah, eat my gravel soup, bitches.
Well, I mean, come on. You know, really? You know, it's like that, you know, it's truly, it's beyond belief that, that they don't understand the nature of affirmative action. I mean, it's just beyond belief, okay? You know, they kind of go, but, you know, and what they do is go, you know, well, if we could just get them into pre-K, that'll really solve it.
Well, I mean,
as opposed to the end result too, schmuck.
Right, and as somebody has pointed out over and over again, what about all the people that get into schools because of their legacy? George Bush talking to you, I mean, it's.
Yeah, no kidding. I mean, that legacy, especially since I went to two schools where that really works. I mean, I went to the University of North Carolina, where if you wear if somebody in your family when I went to school there, if somebody in your family wore tassel loafers, you got in. I went to the Yale School of Drama, which is legacy heaven.
Right.
By the way, I'm reminded of a story that your friend Kathleen Madigan told.
Yes.
About you all being in a comedy van with Victoria Jackson some years ago.
Oh, yeah, no.
And her dropping the N-word.
Oh, yeah, no, it was unbelievable. We went berserk. Kevin Meaney almost threw her off the band.
I'd like to see that.
Kevin Meaney went nuts. That's it. We're going to stop. There's Dama around me, and then we just went. Literally, there was 30 seconds of total jaw drop. Oh my God! It was like having. It was literally like having. If we had a flat tire and the car was shaking for 30 seconds.
It was like the springtime for Hitler scene. You just superimposed famous comedians' faces.
Yeah, that was really. But really, we're going to throw you out of this car. We've had it. She would stand on stage. I would purposefully do, because when I found out she didn't, how, her religious stuff, which was so over the line, but she could, love everybody except the N-word. And so I would do my stuff on evolution, which just drove her around the bend. And apparently Kevin would stand backstage and Dom to watch the expression on her face.
I would give anything to be on that tour.
We're not racist pants people.
Old Yeller is Lewis Black special on Epix May 2nd. You are a delight, sir, as always, on the phone, in person, in a van.
Always a pleasure to talk to you.
You too, sir. Talk to you soon.
Yeah, and was Chicago good to you?
It was good. Chicago was very, very good to us.
Love that town.
That's great. Real good.
Thank you, baby. Talk to you next time.
Care.
All right, there he goes. 58 minutes after the hour.
I got Lou to laugh twice.
Yay! All right. We have Eric Bollert and much more coming up on the Stephanie Miller Show.